All right, welcome back, guys, to Therapy Craft here. So we're jumping right back in, um, right back in with what we're doing. We're going to head back out since we slept now, and I'm going to open the door and step outside here so I can actually look at the map. We're going to step out and continue our journey along here to try and find a good place to settle. A lot of wooded area here, and I'm not really enjoying that. Maybe we should go this way, push out across the water and see what's there. I don't know. It's hard to figure out where we should go, but maybe we'll go this way and pop across here and do that thing. Okay, so let's get a little bit better kitted up for doing that. I'm gonna put this back in here. I don't think we're going to be doing any of that today. I'm actually going to pop that into my inventory there. Put that in there. This away. We're going to take the bread with us. Put this away. I'm going to have to do some inventory management. I might do some stuff between recording sessions just to kind of make things a little bit easier, because I really like having this discussion on mental health with you guys. So stepping back into our talk on depression here. Hello, this wasn't here before. Freaks me out. Okay, so stepping back into depression and really getting into severe depressed mood. Let's kind of steer away from crisis type stuff, because that is, while that does come along with depressed mood, it's not necessarily the end all be all. It doesn't always happen with depressed mood, and that is more of a crisis situation, and I think that can kind of be its own topic at some point, hopefully. But depression, and especially specifically severe depression, what are we doing? How are we helping people to get through this? One of the biggest, and no joke, this is something that I see for a lot of my clients as being a huge piece of their recovery, and that is, oh my gosh, there's a village literally right here. Hello? Get out of here. This is a huge village. Oh my gosh. And you're a witch. Lovely. Okay, so, geez, this village has everything we need. Guys, guess where we're moving? We move into this village. Holy cow. Literally has everything. I'm glad we went this way, because, oh my gosh, it's enormous. Whoa. Okay. So, okay. Sorry, got distracted. Where was I? Depressed mood. We were talking about how best to cope with it, and I think we were on just getting started with depression. Man, this village got me all kinds of turned around. We were just getting started on, what I see as one of the better management, ways to manage that depressed mood, and that would be socialization. Getting out and, literally going and doing things with other people or without. So typically, I try to encourage my clients, hey, take somebody, go with somebody to go, go do something. Get out of the house. Really try to go do something. Do we want to move into this place? It's pretty big. This is, a good space. It's already got this staircase going down, which I don't necessarily like. Leads down to the dungeon down there. Hmm. We could set this up as like a temporary base of operations, maybe. Maybe. We'll think about it as we continue talking here. But yeah, so getting out and literally going out and doing something, getting outside, being outside, you know, in the sunlight, in, you know, night, I don't know, whenever, but just doing something. You know, especially if it's with other people, I think that's going to help way more. But it is not a necessity. As long as you can get out and go do something, it's, you know, it's probably going to be helpful. And that is such a struggle for somebody with depression. You know, they're feeling like, hey, I can't. I don't know what's going to be better. Probably this, honestly. You know, they're feeling like, hey, I can't get out and do anything. I don't feel like it. I don't really want to. You know, it's too much. I can't handle that. But when they actually get out and go do it, they feel better. Most of the time. Again, I don't want to. I don't want to overstate these effects because they're not, you know, 100% do this and you will, you know, and you will be cured kind of a thing. Nothing is that. If anybody, you know, tells you that, they're lying. But, you know, it is definitely something that can be helpful. And for most people it is. But again, you know, there may be a reason why somebody can't get out and do that. So, you know, maybe you don't necessarily have anybody to go with. Hey, I want to do that, but who am I going to go with? I've got nobody. You know, I have run across people who, you know, because of their depression, you know, they haven't been out in a while. They haven't, you know, developed those social. Oh my gosh, what is this place? I don't even know what any of this is. We're out of here. It's weird. They haven't developed a lot of the social connections that you know, that many people have, and so, you know, they are at a distinct disadvantage in actually doing that social stuff. So, you know, a lot of mental health agencies have groups. They have things that people can join in, be a part of, you know, literally take part in these things that will help them to get that interaction that they need. And it's, you know, it's huge for a lot of people. Okay, we're going to take a break from that for just a second because I want to look at this on the map. Oh my gosh. This is like a really great area. I'm really digging this area right here, I think. It's got an area for crops here. It's got this. Yeah, I'm kind of digging that. It's a little open. Okay. Okay. I'm thinking we head back, set up kind of a small area to move all of our stuff to. Mystical orange flower. So let us, what did I say? This area right here? I was thinking. Just take a second to look at on the journey map. Yeah, it's a little small. I would like it to be a little larger, I think, if I could. But it's close to this, which I know these are not set up properly, but of course I did. I really don't want to hold on to this brick. Oh boy, we're also getting towards night. So let's just got some cobble with us. Let's run back home real quick. Think about what we want to do as far as building goes, and then we can kind of move forward. So anyway, back to the depression. Getting out, socializing. These are huge. You know, if you feel yourself slipping towards depression, depressed mood, it's going to be my recommendation to get out, go do something. You know, again, whether that's with people or not, is going to, you know, that determination is going to depend on what kind of person are you, introvert, extrovert, you know, where do you get your energy from? You know, and how is it going to best serve you to function here? So, you know, we've got this depressed mood, right? You know, we're deep in it now, and we've just started addressing it. We have gone out and done something with friends. Let's say we, you know, we really needed that time with somebody that we knew. So we did that, and we're doing that on a consistent basis. What else can we do? How else can we move forward? And before we go any further here, you know, I do want to, again, I don't even know if I did this, if I mentioned this before, but I do want to have said, you know, this should not replace, you know, a regular therapy session if you feel like that's what you need. You know, if in having this talk and listening to me talk here on this channel, you know, you start feeling like, hey, you know, a lot of the things he's saying are really lining up for me to be, you know, to be very true. Can I take this and keep everything in it? No, that was a terrible idea. Do not just listen to me and take my advice and do what I say and think everything is going to be fine. You know, go out, seek mental health attention. You know, get this for yourself. Find your own you know, counselor, somebody who can be there on your side and help support you through this. You know, a lot of people have some preconceived notions about, you know, therapy and therapists and, you know, what we're going to say, what we're going to, you know, that we're judging you, or that, you know, that we're going to tell your family, we're going to tell somebody that you came to therapy. And that's just not true. I can't tell anybody that, you know, any of my clients are in therapy unless they, you know, expressly say, yes, this is something that I want. I want you to share this with, you know, my mom, with my dad, with my grandma, with, you know, my friend, my caseworker. You know, there's also, you know, very limited do this. We created this, and then we're just leaving it. We're done. It's fine. You see this? See this guy out here? Coming in here to wreck my face. Goodness, we're gonna have to deal with that at some point, but not right now. Okay, maybe right now. All right, I can't have you. Got him. Got him. All right. Okay, so what do we want to do insofar as this is? I probably, you know, where this creeper is, probably should not just sit here. But before I go too far away, I want to take a look. at this area and what we want to do with it. So yeah, seek attention. Seek your own counseling, because they're going to be able to gear it to what you've got going on for you, and not just what I'm talking about, which is a very broad generalization. Okay, so let's take a second here and actually look. So we've got it's a decent space. We should come over here, clear it out a little, get rid of all the junk on it, and then kind of measure out, maybe put in some gravel or something, kind of like extend this out this way, and down and over and down again, and then we'll have our space over here. Hopefully not too many creepy boys, and I'm glad I moved. We would have been dead again. Yeah, so we'll pop over there again. I should get a boat. Just running back and forth like an idiot. You know what? Screw it. I'm not getting a boat. I'm just running back and forth like an idiot. It's fine. So yeah, socialization is huge for a lot of people. Getting support, definitely huge. Again, getting back into talking about therapy here. And so that, again, this is something we call behavioral activation, getting out, going, doing. The next thing that I would think is going through, if somebody is dealing with some depression and maybe they don't understand why. Hey, this pops up for me at times, and I don't really understand it too well. I don't know what's going on here. Well, let's take a look at what happens for. Hello, kitty? Kitty? No kitty. Okay, so we're just going to clear a lot of this out. I should probably just make a bucket and dump the old water on it, but that's okay. There's a skelly boy who is following me. I'll murderize his face. Okay, where was I? Lost my train of thought. Did I say skeleton? Zombie. Zombie was after me. So yeah, behavioral activation, and then moving on to a technique that is, kind of used in a lot of different CBT stuff, which is what we call an ABC. Well, when I hand it out, I call it an ABC worksheet, because it is literally a worksheet that I'm sending somebody home with. So some homework. Every good therapist's favorite word. So, oh man, this actually is a decent space. I don't mind this. We'll make a 2-story place. It'll be good. Yeah, do that. So let's have a little setup over here. Do I have? Yeah, I've got some stuff to do this. We'll just pop all that down for now. And I'm going to create a chest over here. Big ol' big ol' 2 double chest. We're going to put that off to the side here. Give ourselves some space in here. Oh, I'm going to need to lay this bed down. Probably lay. Can I not see something right here? Probably shouldn't do that too much. I've heard bad things can happen. We'll see. So we're just going to clean this area up. So yeah, ABC worksheet. So the essence of the ABC worksheet is that we are taking a look at cause and effect, essentially. So what happened? How did we feel about it? How did we react to it? What was our first thought when it happened? And why, why are we having these negative thoughts? Essentially, is what we're getting at. So you send, what I do is I send people, home with the homework. We're all small bird need. With the homework, the first day, the first week, I guess, if you will, and get them to try it. Get them to do this on their own. Take some time to do this thing that I'm, that I'm sending you home with. And the reason that I do that, the reason that I want people to take time to do this on their own is because, to show them that they can. Hey, you can fill this out. And then, inevitably, they will come back and say, I didn't really know what to do. And I get to say, well, what did you try? What did you put down? Well, nothing. I thought it might look foolish. So then, then we can talk about, the barriers. We can talk about, why they didn't fill it out, quite frankly. And what that means for them. What that really gets at. They're afraid of failing. They're afraid that they're not going to do it right. And there's really no right way to do therapy. As the person who is seeking help, you're not going to mess it up. So then what do? We say, okay, I understand. I understand that you are uncomfortable doing that. Why don't we work on it in here? Why don't we take a minute and we'll go through one or two. And maybe you do this, if you've been working with somebody a while, maybe, it's going to be an issue. Maybe you do this before, the first stage. You're not going to let them try it themselves the first time because, it's just not going to happen. They're going to come back and say, I didn't do it. Inevitably, some people will be like that. Once you've worked with somebody for a while, you may figure that out. And again, don't push them. If somebody doesn't want to do something or isn't going to do something, you don't always have to push. Can be good. Most people get something out of a bit of a push, but you don't have to. It's not a huge issue, it is something that you should consider when dealing with somebody. Now, I always do explain, the ABCs. A is the antecedent, or what happened. What was the event that happened? Let's say we're dealing with negative thoughts, right? We're dealing with that depressed mood, and so we're going through this with the client. And our example here is, so the event that happened is I made a mistake. So I was walking and I tripped, and it was in public, and there you go. So we take that, and okay, so that's the event. That is what happened. You stumbled, tripped over nothing, maybe. And so we take that and we say, we then say, okay, so that happened. What was your first thought? How did you initially react to that? And this is the important piece. And I am going to probably want a shovel if I'm going to dig out a 64 block area here. Do I want to be that close for that. I mean, this is a good space. We'll be fine. Let's make a shovel real quick while we're talking. So what was the event that happened? And then from there, what was the first thought, that initial reaction to the event? And this is not the first emotion, right? This is not, oh, I was embarrassed. That's not a thought, that's feeling. So we need to get at, okay, what was that initial thought? And a lot of people, this is a struggle for a lot of people, is they don't really know what their first initial thought was. So we go with, okay, what was the first thought that you can remember? And so maybe the first thought that they remember is, well, I remember, thinking to myself, oh, everybody's looking at me. Everyone's looking at me. Is it going to be big enough? It's a big enough area, 64 by 64? Or not 64 by 64, 64 blocks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 across. Well, we do want an even number because we want double doors. But I think 8 by 8 is going to be a little small. 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we'll dig this. We'll do a double. So that initial thought is everybody's looking at me, and then we get to the feeling after that, right? So the consequence. How did you feel? What happened? What went on? Did everybody stop and laugh at you? Did you walk away, covering your face? I didn't see what happened because I was covering my face. I didn't want anybody to see me. And so we go over that. What was that consequence? And a lot of times, from there, what we want to do is go over, was it realistic? Was that first thought, that initial reaction, was it realistic? And looking at that from the point of view of 100% reality. So that initial thought of everyone is laughing at me, was that realistic? And sometimes I run into clients where, yeah, they do have some realistic thoughts in that moment. This is not necessarily the person that is going to be helped by this, but the person who has the more negative thoughts, the thoughts that don't necessarily line up with reality. So somebody who says, well, no, there wasn't actually really anybody around, but it led to me thinking about how much I hate myself and how much of a failure that I am, because I can't even walk straight. So then we have an opportunity to talk about, well, that thought is not realistic at all. You're thinking about something that nobody laughed at you. Nobody was there saying anything or pointing or any of that. And they get an opportunity to say, well, yeah, but it was embarrassing. And so we get to talk about the effect of how we feel about things, and how we feel about ourselves. And doing that, a lot of times can kind of point out that to people that, hey, if you're the one that is feeling this and experiencing this. Other people aren't seeing you mess up. Other people aren't judging you in that way. So why are you judging yourself? One of the things that I like to tell a lot of my clients is, we see ourselves a lot more closely than other people see us. We hold that mirror to ourselves very closely, and we're very unfair in how we deal with ourselves, the things that we say to ourselves, the things that that we allow ourselves to do. How we treat ourselves is important, and it affects many aspects of life. That's a big thing for a lot of people. How do you treat yourself? And that is why self-care is very important. We'll put our front door right here. 2 blocks. I like the idea of having this bottom like that. I'm not gonna Let's go find some wood to do that with. What kind of wood is this? Dark oak. I like that. 15 looks like the max that I can do. Not a big fan of that, but okay. Pop up there. So yeah, self-care. That's another big one with clients. What do you do to take care of yourself? What do you do to help your overall mood? A lot of people don't do enough self-care. I mean, heck, a lot of people who don't have mental illness don't do a heck of a lot of self-care. It's something that people in mental health don't do enough of. It's something that I talk about with coworkers all the time. So I've been around my place of work for a while. Community mental health has a lot of turnover, and and so I've been at my job a lot longer than a lot of the people that I work with. Well, I guess I wouldn't say a lot of the people that I work with, but a good number of the people that I work with. And one of the things that consistently comes up is self-care. I'm not doing enough self-care. I should probably be doing more self-care. Hey, what kind of self-care do you do? These kinds of things, they come up for everybody. And that is an important conversation to have. Self-care. I feel like this episode ran a little bit long. We might have like a few longer episodes here. I'm kind of working on doing some stuff. Getting caught up in talking about mental health. Its passion, as I feel like is evident here. Something I really get caught up in. Something that I really enjoy talking about. So we'll go ahead and leave off here for this episode. We'll come back next time, and and kind of wrap up our discussion on depression with with some of the things that I personally have seen, some of the growth that I've seen, some of the failure that I've seen, and what we can learn from that as the sun is setting here. So I'll go ahead and wrap it up here. With a little face cam action. Sunset there. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. I hope you have a great day.